Hey guys, Mr. Grun here with a little review video. So if you want to pause these problems or pause on each slide, try the problems out and then see how I do it to check your work or if you get stuck. All right, so some warm-up type problems. First one, b to the 7th times b to the 12th. Well, in that case, we are going to add 7 plus 12 for the exponent, and we get b to the 19th. All right, let's go down to the W1. Now in this case, you could do subtraction, right? We could do W to the 5 minus 8, and that would give us W to the negative 3. Now, the bad part about doing this is we don't want negative exponents in our simplified form. So now how do you make that into a positive exponent? You put 1 over W to the positive 3. The other way you could think of it is 5 of these from the top cancel 5 from the bottom, and so there's 3 left over in the bottom, which would be that W cubed. All right, everything in the parentheses is raised to the power of 0 for this one, for the 4a to the 12th times b, so that's going to equal 1, assuming, of course, that a or b don't equal 0. And now our next one here, now this, there's a couple ways we could approach it. I think it would be easier to reduce these two exponents first and then apply the fourth on the outside. So it's sort of a two-step problem. M to the 12th over 10 over m to the 10th. 10 down here would cancel 10 from the top, so there would be 2 left. So m squared, and then raise that to the 4th power. Now you're multiplying. M squared to the 4th is 2 times 4, and that is m to the 8th. All right, so now simplifying one like this. Another, we've got multiple things here, right? First thing I could do, well, I know that times b, sometimes it's nice to put a little 1 right there just to remind yourself that that is an exponent of 1. I would approach this, I'd simplify this first. So if we distribute the 4 or the 6 in, b to the 4 times 6, and then times b to the first. So that is going to be b to the 24 times b to the first. Now we're going to add the exponents. So that is b to the 24 plus 1, and that's b to the 25th. Now, I showed a lot of work there. You don't necessarily need to show all that work. All right, next one. Ooh, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see. If we apply our product properties, we can add stuff. So I'm going to rearrange things just to make this a little simpler. So x squared, I'm going to put the x next to it. Remember, when you're multiplying stuff like this, it doesn't matter what order they're in. So you can rearrange this to make it easier. All right, now I can add these exponents. So x to the 2 plus a negative 2, and that's times y to the negative 3 plus a negative 3, which is the same as minus. And that's going to be x to the 0 times y to the negative 6th. Well, we know x to the 0 is equal to 1, so it's 1 times y to the negative 6th. What do we do with that? We make it 1 over y to the positive 6. And so 1 times 1 over y to the positive 6, we can just get rid of the 1, and that's what we're left with. All right, next one. Okay, with this, let's multiply the negative 3 and the 5, and then we'll put the x's next to each other. So this is going to end up being negative 3 times 5 for what we would call our coefficients. And then x squared times x to the negative 3. All right, negative 3 times 5, that is negative 15. And then x to the 2 plus a negative 3, which is the same as minus 3. That's going to be negative 15 x to the negative 1. So now what do we do with the x to the negative 1? This is going to be negative 15 times 1 over x to the 1. And if we really want to simplify this, right, the 15 gets multiplied to the numerator, so that becomes negative 15 over x. And we'll get rid of the 1 as the exponent. Okay, this one. Let's distribute first, right? Let's distribute those exponents into the parentheses. So the first one is going to be b to the 2 times negative 2, and the second one's going to be b to the 4 times 5. That's going to be b to the negative 4 for the first one and b to the 20 for the second one. Now we're going to add the exponents. So negative 4 plus 20, and that's going to be b to the 16th. All right, next one. Let's see. We've got some negative exponents and fractions. I think it's going to be easiest if we apply, if we flip the fractions and make these exponents positive. I think we should do that first. So that 2 over 3 to the negative 1 is going to become 3 over 2 to the positive 1. And now the other one is going to be going to flip, so it's 2b over 3a to the positive 2. Now I've just got this 3 over 2 for the first one, and I want to square everything, all 4 parts, right? The 2, the b, the 3, and the a all get that exponent of 2. So it's 2 squared b squared over 3 squared a squared. And so now let's start simplifying this. I'm going to move it up here. So that's going to be 3 over 2 times 4b squared over 9a squared. And now we can just multiply the fractions. So multiply everything on top and everything on bottom. 3 times 4 is 12b squared over 2 times 9 is 18a squared. Now we can do some canceling here, right? 3 and 18 are both divisible by 3. Or they're both divisible by 6, excuse me, will be the easiest. So this would reduce to 2b squared over 3a squared, like that. All right. Ooh, a lot of stuff going on here. I think it's going to be easiest if we apply the negative power here first. So let's flip everything. X squared y over x squared y squared to the positive 3. Let's see. We can start to cancel some stuff here too before we bring the 3 in. Those x squareds would completely cancel out, and then y over y squared, the 1 on top here cancels 1 from the bottom, and so this is going to be 1 over y cubed. And now if we apply the 3, the cubed, to everything, it's 1 cubed over y cubed. And we don't need to put the 3 with a 1, right? Because 1 cubed is just 1. All right, here, let's apply that 2 to everything. So that's going to be negative 4 squared, and then times d to the 10 times 2. Negative 4 squared, remember if you're squaring a negative number, that the result is going to be positive. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16, and then d to the 20th. We got a few more. All right, this one, we'll apply the 2 to both the top and the bottom. And so if we actually square these two numbers, 9 over 25. All right, we got some stuff that'll cancel out here, right? M squared over m squared, that totally cancels out. And then with the n's, there's one n on the bottom that cancels 1 from the top, so that is 5n cubed. All right, and I think that is it. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Reach out to your teachers if you have any questions.